Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
And welcome back to the Grassroots Connection, where we provide the information you need to make an informed decision. And it is election time, and most people's minds are occupied with, who's going to be our next senator, who's going to be our next congressman. And you know what? I'm with you. I think all these guys should be thrown out on their you-know-whats. But before we go and we cast our ballots, let's take a look at one of the major issues, one of the major drains of our financing, these wars. We're in Afghanistan, we're in Iraq, we're also killing people every day in Pakistan, an undeclared war on a sovereign nation and a U.S. ally. We are dropping drone bombs on their military personnel. We've got Blackwater, CIA running around, creating false flag operations and pulling them off to continue to basically convince the American people that we have to be in Afghanistan dropping drone bombs on innocent civilians. And I frankly have had enough, and I'm willing to stand here and stand on principle. This cannot stand. It must end. And if these Tea Partiers and Democrats and Republicans aren't willing to end this, I think the people have got to take it upon ourselves to drive them out of power. Anyway, I've got a caller on board. We're going to get them up here and see what they think about what we've been discussing. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
I know we were talking a little bit during the break, and I think we were at the point where XE and CIA are running around doing these false flag operations in Pakistan, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and you were about to comment before we came back from the break. So if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and finish your comment.
Well, the last thing I was talking about was how I think that there's still people like you involved over there from the prior regime there they had in Washington, still working behind the scenes because they have a lot of business friends.
Yes.
That make a lot of money off the war. And so they have, it's not that they care about what we need or what we want or protecting us or anything. This is all just about money for them. And I actually think that the reason that they put out the story, the stock market has crashed and we got to bail everybody out, is because they were ticked off they weren't going to get back into office.
I think you got a very good point there.
And I also think, now, I'm not sure. This is just the thing that just struck me odd. I get into political strategy a lot lately.
well, I mean, you have to defend yourself.
I have to sometimes wonder, and I had this question during the last presidential campaign, that I thought it was very convenient that President Obama, here he was. And I was like, this is either an answer or it's an infiltration.
Absolutely. And
I said, because this would be the biggest political coup the Republicans could pull off. They weren't going to get anybody in office to continue doing what they wanted done.
No.
Not from their party.
No.
But if they could get somebody else in there that looked like the answer to our prayers for what they'd done, then they could still be connected.
Absolutely.
And I'm not positive about this. I just think there has been some things that he's done that are very good, and there's been some things that he's done I haven't agreed with. And so, but it's just that I don't put anything past them. They were in a desperate situation politically.
Absolutely. And if
to retain office and to retain some power in that office. And so I don't know. I think the only thing that we can do about that situation is that when the time comes up again, is I know 100% I don't want a Republican to get in there.
Right.
But we really have to look at what a candidate's background is, what issues they have voted on. Really look at a candidate more closely. Don't be looking for someone that, to come in and bail us out that we might have made a, quick decision on that isn't working out so great.
Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. And
And as far as the war situation, the only way we're going to change that is from local government right on up. You have to tell the people representing you that you've put in office what you expect them to do on your behalf concerning your interests with everything, not just the war, everything. People have to get more involved. They have to become more active. And I also think that the Tea Party is another political ploy by the Republicans. They have taken advantage of the people that have real concerns and made pretend that they agree just because they want to use them. And so there's some good people in that are concerned, but when you look at the majority of the comments that are made, I have to tell you, I used to be a Republican.
Yes, ma'am.
Years ago, and they sound just like the people that worked in the back rooms of the campaigns. They were the ones. This is why I stopped being one after I found out how they did things. They were the ones, I call them the backroom Republicans. What they do is they're the ones that make all the nasty comments and all the slanderous lies in the comments in newspapers. They're the ones that call up the radio stations doing the same thing. That is so that their candidate doesn't look like a mudslinging guy.
Oh, so they do it for him.
Yes.
Ah.
That's how they do that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I became a Democrat after watching, listening, meeting. I really like what Congressman Hinchey stands for. He's the only person with the Marcellus gas, only politician, and with his position regarding the Marcellus core, the gas shale thing going on here in New York State.
Yes.
That from the get-go has been looking out for our best interest, has stood up to these guys and pushed them in a corner. And that's why he's having such a hard time right now, is because they are putting out all these lies, everything else, because they want him gone.
Oh, yeah.
He's on a hit list. And you know how I know that?
No, go ahead and tell us.
I'm in a coalition.
Ah.
I innocently got into one a couple of years ago, thinking that, coalition is to help protect our land and, deal with these companies to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
That's what it was supposed to be about. But it turns out that you've got people on the steering committees that are Republicans. Some hold office either as legislators or town councilmen, and they are the ones. If you go on to the private, the blog that only members can see, okay, they have a hit list there. They make all nicey to Donald Pardo, but she's on it. They make all nicey to Barbara Fiali, the county executive for Broome County, but she's on it. Every Democrat that didn't vote for the moratorium in New York State, up in Albany,
yes,
they are on it. There's not one Republican name on that hit list.
Wow.
It's called Vote Them Out Now.
Vote Them Out Now, and it's inner
Oh, yeah,
circle.
there's votethemoutnow.org. They made their own thing. And the Joint Landowners Coalition is a farce, too. That started out as we're going to get all the coalitions together so that we have more power to get a really good price on a gas lease. And then all of a sudden they started hooking up with Brad Gill from EnergyInDepth.org, the IOGA, which is the Independent Oil and Gas Association. And then they made themselves, before they made themselves a not-for-profit group last spring, there was supposed to be a march, a rally in Albany earlier this year in spring. And some people did go. And they got to go because buses were provided by a gas company. We can't say who, but wasn't it nice of them? But bring your own lunch because that's on your dime, not theirs.
Absolutely.
Okay? Yeah, and then after that, they made the jail. It's called Joint Landowners Coalition of New York. They made them a not-for-profit group, and I feel they did that because they said, we need a lobbyist.
Yeah.
And the lobbyist is going to cost $425,000. This they're telling to people that have nothing.
Right. People who are losing their homes. Yeah.
Right. And everybody. And apparently, like one coalition came up with, I don't know, $200 or $300. Another one came. But all of a sudden, we had a lobbyist. Now, who paid for that?
Well, I bet you know.
I bet I do.
But caller,
I have copy and printed every statement with the people's names by it.
Caller.
And
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. All right. I've got another caller on board, and you've been a source for great information. So I want you to call us back.
I'm not going to give you my name, no.
That's okay. You don't have to. But
I'm still working on it.
I want you to call us back tomorrow, okay? And give us some more information. I know you came in late to the show, but I've got another caller. I got to get him on here.
All right. I'll try. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
All right. And I think we had a really good dialogue there. She's really well informed. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Hi. Yeah. How you doing today?
Doing fine. How about yourself?
Fine. I've been listening to what you've been talking about. Sounds like you're ready to vote for the Green Party. If you want to have an alternative, if you want the Peace Party, the party that's against this war, we're talking about Tom Clements running for Senate. We got to dump entrenched incumbent DeMint and end big government corporate collusion and get us out of Afghanistan. The Green Party's the only alternative.
Well, I like the way you're talking there. Keep on talking.
I mean, if you're just railing against the Democrats, all you're doing is pushing people over back into the Republican fiasco that we've been dealing with for the last 10 years. So we've got an alternative, and there really is one. It sounds like you're ready. You're not voting for
Sounds
Tom.
like I'm getting there, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're promoting his agenda. So if you'd, it's Tom at ClementsForSenate.com, www.ClementsForSenate.com. So maybe if you go to that, you could learn a little bit more about a real alternative candidate for what you want.
Well, I'll certainly...
Out of Afghanistan and Iraq and in this corporate privatization of our government. And Tom definitely is just a regular guy. I'm surprised you don't know who he is. He's been around for a long time working with the Green Party, working with the, what is it called, Greenpeace?
Greenpeace
for quite a long time. That took a lot of chutzpah, to work with Greenpeace.
Absolutely. I have heard some really good things about him, and as you mentioned, I will be going to his site and taking a look at his platform positions. Number one, getting us out of these freaking wars. I've just had it. And again, no Democrat, no Republican, nobody's going to talk about it. So if he's going to talk about it, then I'm going to support him in that move. Right now, I can tell you that.
Right. Our last caller was very right. The military-industrial complex. It's really the only economy that drives this country, unfortunately, today. So,
absolutely. Sounds like the music's coming up, and we're out of here.
All right. God bless. Be well.
Well, call us again tomorrow, and
we'll
give you another, 15 minutes of fame. All right? All right. So thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everyone that joined us today. It is our privilege to be here bringing you this information, but we need your support. So every time you get a chance, look us up and support Grassroots Connection. We'll talk to you tomorrow.